Pisces, welcome back to Theresthattarot. Pisces, I got a few messages for you before we get started. A lot of you are starting to notice changes. Changes in your life. For some of you, I was just looking at my face. And I don't know, it's like some of y'all, we just never satisfied, are we? We're just never satisfied as humans, right? Because it's like, I'm sitting here, and this may resonate. I'm just going to have a moment of vulnerability with you guys. I'm looking at all these bees in these trees. Some of y'all don't like bees. Anyway, you know, over the last year, 2 years, however long, I've lost damn near half of my body weight. And, you know, yes, all that. But I'm also starting to notice these lines. And my face was a lot more plumper, and I felt like I looked younger. So a lot of y'all may be noticing like changes. You know, like eyes, little lines around the eyes, things like that. And I know some of y'all like, girl, if you don't shut your ass up. But for real, all of us do that. You know, nobody's ever quite satisfied. And maybe that's the point. It's like, get into it, okay? I got a girlfriend who's an Aries. She wrote this song called "This Is My Body." Okay? This is my body. Period. So, some of y'all need to get into that. But you're learning, you're growing, you're learning to embrace the changes that are happening in your life, in your body, things like that. A lot of you are becoming a lot more dedicated, and not just dedicated, but dedicated to yourself. It's like, finally, for the first time, I'm doing this for me. Okay? And do it. Releasing. I heard, okay. I surrender. Okay, you got it. I heard that. Somebody might be having one of those moments like, okay. But it's like, this is going to give you a chance to create your own world. Start rewriting the story. Because you can. I mean, you're here. You're watching this video. You're not dead yet. You know, so there's still a chance for you to rewrite the story. A lot of you may not be finishing your food right now. A lot of y'all, I don't know if you have like issues with your stomach, or maybe if you have been trying to lose weight, your actual stomach cavity is starting to shrink. So don't force it past that. It's a good thing. Once your stomach cavity starts to shrink, you know, then you can eat fewer. I would eat, it just depends on your body, but fewer meals more times a day. Maybe like 4 small things a day. But once your stomach cavity shrinks, if that's the goal, then don't try to stretch it. It's like, I'll say, I eat until I'm not hungry no more. Once I'm not hungry no more, I don't eat anymore. Something like that. A lot of us eat, especially in American culture, we eat to get full, and then you're tired, and then, you know, everything else that happens with that, right? So maybe it's not a bad thing that you're not finishing your food. You may be around somebody who thinks that's very wasteful. I had somebody fuss at me about that the other day. I was like, I ordered what I ordered and paid for, okay? And I am American, and we can't be very wasteful, sorry. But anyway, you know, I kind of got fussed at, like, you know, there are people who are hungry in Africa, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, honey, there's people hungry all over the world, okay? Anyway, and trust me, I've even gotten more into, like, you know, I had this intuitive nudge. I was walking downtown, some city I was in. It was after a show, and, you know, I saw this homeless guy, and he was sleeping on the ground, and I heard 10. I had 10 euro in my pocket, and I was like, damn, I was gonna use this for something. You know, we selfish. So then I said, as I was walking past, I said, well, you know, it's kind of dark, and I need to get back to my hotel. And I walked past the guy, and I heard, do it now. Turn around, go give him the 10 euro. And so I did that. And it was kind of awkward because he was kind of like tucked in a bush. And so I walked around. I was like, please let this man not wake up because I don't know what's on his mind. You know, if I was sleeping outside, I'd wake up, you know, be ready to attack somebody. So I kind of tiptoed around and I peeked and I was like, no, I can't do that. And then I kept hearing the voice saying, no, go do it. And so I went back. And he didn't wake up. And I was like, where am I going to put this 10 euro? And I'm kind of peeking around, and then I saw a way to kind of tuck it in somewhere. Hopefully it was there because it was a little windy outside anyway. A lot of you may be having moments like that too, you know, pay it forward type of moments. Some of you have some unopened mail. Go ahead and open it. Just do it. Stop procrastinating on the shit that you got to get done. Just do it. And you may need to like cross your T's, dot your I's, reread something, or maybe you're rereading some material, a book, whatever it is for you. Pisces. Let's see what else is going on. Some of you could be very into African cultures or of African descent. Or like maybe you know where your family comes from, like your lineage or something like that. Some of you know, which is awesome. Pisces. Is that why I said that? Generosity came out in the reverse. Is that why I had to tell the homeless man's story? Sometimes when you feel like you don't have it to give is when it's going to be given to you, okay? Trust and believe. I need to plug up my phone, Pisces. Let's get your other messages. Just a second. Of course, if y'all could see how this kitchen actually looked. I mean, this is not a kitchen for eating. This is a kitchen for recording. All right. So, Pisces, generosity and love your body is in the reverse. You got to give yourself more credit, Pisces. You're amazing. The only way to turn it around is to love on yourself. That's the only way. You got to first accept, okay, this is what's going on. this is what we got. You know what I mean? You got to accept it first. Then you can do something about it. You've been inspired to do something. The idea's been given to you, perhaps even the first step. You got to start now and know that God has your back. Know that the universe has your back. I mean, you're protected. Many of you, you know, you still have, like, y'all, many of you are mama bears, okay? Mama bears and papa bears. You're very protective, and you have to know that that same protection is hovering over you. How do you think you have the capacity to give it so well? Be calm. Get into the flow, honey. A lot of you may have been considered, maybe you weren't the most popular. Maybe you weren't the most attractive, okay, according to society's standards or whatever. But I bet they never forgot about you. And they never will. The people that you come across, it's something about you. It's like your flow. It's just you. It's not about society's standards. I mean, a lot of people who technically meet society's standards are some of the most miserable people you've ever come across. Because they got to keep keeping up with society's standards. Meanwhile, you got your own little world going on right here, and everybody seems to want to live there with you. So, pay attention to that. The grass may be greener where you are. So get into it. Have the courage to follow your own path, because it's already been paved for you. Something like that, Pisces. Some of y'all may feel like, you know, you get into that point. I don't know. If it's like, you feel like we don't like you. You feel like we don't love you, Pisces. Shut the freak up. We love you. You are cherished. Maybe where you're looking for it from is not where it's at, or something like that. Oh, we do that too, don't we? We look for it where it ain't. They don't have the same capacity that you have, Pisces. Something like that. Let's see. I'm not sure what's going on in the stars and the planets and stuff like that. But try not to get lost in all of the energies. Try not to get lost in the transit. Whenever you start feeling lost, do something to love on yourself. Okay? Why settle for crumbs when you can have the whole meal? For some of you, this has to do with your love life or some part of your life. This, I don't know. It's all relevant. You're not giving enough to yourself. One. Let me see. You know how, okay, so I have a girlfriend who said, she said, well, Journey, like, say I'm going through a breakup or something like that. She said, well, Journey, every time you go through one of these breakups, and I compare it to the last person that you were dating or talking to, you've always made a step up. Like, okay, so it didn't work out with both of them, but this one was better than this one, so the next one is going to be better than them. Something like that. And sometimes we can think, oh, this is the happily ever after. No, this is another lesson. And then that's going to take you to the happily ever after, whether it's in your love life, career, whatever. Like, no, just be cool with the steps that you're taking right now and give yourself more credit because you're doing better than you was. Something like that, Aquarius. So yeah, I might be dealing with Aquarius. I almost called you Aquarius. Your power isn't in being a good person. Your power isn't always in being good or like whatever you have been conditioned or considered to be good. Stop sucking it up if it's not good enough for you. There's something like stop settling, and your ability to suck it up is not a superpower, but saying no is a superpower. I feel like it's like dimming your light to settle. It makes you look at yourself. I feel like it's the disappointment in yourself when you settle that just drains you of all that wonderfulness that is you, Pisces. And you need to stop it. Saying no is going to be your superpower. No, that's not good enough for me. I don't give a fuck what you think is good enough for me. I know me. I am me. I'm living me. And I say that that's not good enough for me. You'll be surprised at how people start looking at you different. When you treat yourself like royalty, but who gonna check you? Who gonna tell you you're not? At some point, Beyonce told herself, I am that bitch. And then she became. Look at Beyonce from back when and look at her now. Those was a lot of conversations that she had with herself. Okay? That whole, we all got the same 24 hours as Beyonce. At some point, she had that reckoning with herself. All right. Okay, I've made a name for myself, you know, my daddy and all that. They helped me get to this point. Now, how do I get to Beyonce the business versus just Beyonce the singer? You know, something like that. It's like you gotta own it. And you've already been inspired to do it. And a lot of you are looking at, oh, I don't have enough though, or I'm not where I want to be, or something like that. You got to be faithful over a few so that you can be ruler over many. Be good to what you got right now. You come, like my daddy said, and I'm bringing up a lot of Virgo energy. My dad's a Virgo, Beyonce's a Virgo, some of y'all may be dealing with Virgo. What was I about to say to you? My dad said whether you're the janitor at McDonald's or the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, you go in there and you make it better than it was before you got there. Be a good steward over what it is that you're doing. And there's no way you're going to stay in the same place forever. If you're being a good steward over what you're doing, then there's no choice but to grow. You will outgrow where you are if you do good with what you got. There's something like that. You will be rewarded with more. And then here comes more responsibility, more money, more problems. Get into it, okay? But just know that you're protected. No matter how far, how big you get in life and all of that, you're protected at every level. With every new devil, you're protected at every level, okay? You just have to, a lot of you, okay, it's lonely at the top, all right? It's for a reason. Be a good friend to yourself. Be a good, you know, if you feel like you're alone, a lot of you may be in a place where you're just more alone than you've ever been. And you may look around and say, I'm actually doing better than I was, but ain't nobody here. Now is the time to be that friend that you have been, that family member that you have been, that spouse that you have been, whoever that you have been, to yourself, the way that you were to them. Because you have the capacity to show up for people in ways that other signs don't. So, now you have to do that for yourself. And don't worry. Don't spend your time that way. Because once you spend it, it's spent. It's gone. So, you might as well spend it on your passions. You know, honor those things that you desire the most. Start planting those seeds so that you can start to realize those things. A lot of you are daydreamers at your best. Okay, so start dreaming that shit up that you want. Sometimes the best way to grow is to let go. Okay, all you gotta do is release. Some of y'all just need to lay out under the stars. It's summertime, you know. Go get inspired in some way. It's a lot of free ways to go get inspired if money is the thing, or, you know, maybe you use the excuse of time. You got that too, okay? You don't have to be in such a rush. The calmer that you are, the more that the time starts to slow down. There may be a Leo in your life. There's a Leo calling. Things start to slow down and it's easier to get things done. So don't put yourself in a rush. Don't put yourself in a haste. Okay. I'm telling you, there's a door in your life that's closed and it's giving you a chance to follow your own path. It's giving you a chance to, you know, get back on your track or get to it. There's a change of course that's happening in your life. A lot of you are having to make a choice of which door to go through or which key to open the door. I feel like there's one door, but there's 3 different keys. This key may have something to do with your truth and things that maybe you've told yourself were the truth. Either way, a closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. Choose wisely. That's what I'm hearing. But you know what the real key is? The kindness that you show yourself as you're undergoing this process, as you're undergoing these changes. The way that you treat yourself in this process will open the door. That's the key that you need to choose, okay? The one where you're the best to yourself than you've ever been in your life. Meaning, no, I'm not going to go out with you because actually you don't meet my standards. No, I'm not going to go out tonight because I promised myself that I was going to finish this chapter. No, you know, I can't do this show because I don't like the way the travel is set up and I don't want to sing those songs and you're not paying enough. No, I don't want to eat that because I don't like that shit. Like, be good to you. It's going to carve another path. People going to just start treating you different because you're treating yourself different. Something like that. That's where your happiness is. Your thinking is either going to make you happy or take your happiness away. Self-care is a necessity, not a luxury. Put yourself first, Pisces. You can do it. You can do it. Because that's when you start to feel like you can go out in the world and conquer shit. Because you're like, you know what, I did all my affirmations this morning. I went and got my nails done. I feel good. The better you present yourself. Work with what you got, though. The better you present yourself, the better you feel. You know, I don't know what it is, but take that time out to love on yourself. Because that's when you go out in the world, like, that same love and care. Like, I have a Pisces friend, and when I talk to her when I'm going through shit, I feel like I've, you know what I'm saying, somebody hooked a fast charger up to me, and now I can get through the rest of this shit, you know. And sometimes we have to be that person to ourselves when ain't nobody, I'm sorry, when ain't nobody around to do that for us, okay? And then you won't feel so naked when you go out into the world, because you know you got your own back. And you know when other people have your back too. Best advice I ever got from my little cousin. She said, April, you know, my name is April, but, you know, I'm also known as Journey. But she said, April, when you love you, you know when somebody else does. Pisces, I'm going to leave it there. Like, share, and subscribe if this resonated with you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.